And there's 4 things that I want you to walk away with and ask yourself, how can I improve in each of these areas? Okay? The first one is self-efficacy. What do you think that term means? What do you think self-efficacy means? You break that down.
Am I the best me?
Say that again?
Am I the best me I can be right now?
Very good. Yes. Am I the best me? Right? So you see the word efficacy, right? Are you doing all of the things that you can do to be the best you? So what do you think that includes?
All 4 of those things.
Yeah, all 4 of those things. But there's other pieces to it as well, right? But they usually can be summed up in those 4 things. The second thing is hope. Now this is interesting to me. When I was reading up on the literature, and I've studied this, because my doctoral field is in this area called positive organizational scholarship, right? How can we use the power of positivity, optimism, happiness, emotional intelligence, these types of things to help create a more positive work environment, create a more engaged workforce that produces better outcomes, right? Both business outcomes and clinical outcomes. So how do you think hope plays into this? Because that was kind of peculiar for me, right? And I see some of you kind of looking a little bit like, okay, oh, that's interesting. But can we as human beings live without hope? Really can't. Not for very long, right? Whether we realize it or not, our brains are wired to live on hope, okay? And I can't get into all of these and everything, but my hope is, see what I did there? My hope is that you will be intrigued enough to unpack this in your free time when you're sitting up at night about 10:30 or 11 o'clock and you can't sleep like me, and you have your glass of whatever it is that you drink, your designer water, or for me, it's a nice glass of Merlot or whatever, that you will look this up, okay, and see how it applies to you. The third thing is optimism, which is part of psychological capital as well. How many of you would say that you are more optimists by nature than pessimists? And I just want you to be truthful, honest, okay? Optimists, okay. How many of you are more pessimistic? Okay, so I thank you for being honest, right? Because typically when I ask that question in a group this large, people are not honest because they don't want, negative people. How many of you are what you would call realists? Yes. See, I didn't tell you there's going to be more than 2 options. You got to wait next time, okay? Raise your hands again. How many of you are realists? You look at the world through the prism of reality, okay? All right. Some people might see, if I had a glass full of water, okay, and it was half full, the optimist would see it as what? Half full. The pessimist would see it as what? Right. I'm what we call an opportunist. While the pessimist and the optimist are arguing about it's half full or half empty, I'm thirsty. I'm going to take that baby. Okay? That's what we all should be too. That's part of using all of our intelligences. It's connecting the dots, engaging critical thinking on how you can solve business problems and produce better clinical outcomes for your patients and your teams as well. We can't just gone are the days where we can just use our IQ in order to achieve better outcomes, okay? The last thing is resilience. Does this remind you a little bit of the other word that I put up there when people were asked or polled about what makes them successful? Grit, right? Grit and resilience are very interrelated. In fact, resilience is a component of emotional intelligence, right? There's a lot of studies, even though they're different constructs, academically, resilience and grit are very much interrelated. How